Let's look at multi-tools for UK legal carry. Now, as I'm sure you're no doubt aware, there are quite a few very good companies that produce multi-tools. You know, Victorinox, Leatherman, Gerber, just to name a few. And these companies all make great multi-tools that are, really very functional and really useful and packed with useful tools and functions that are great for carrying day to day to deal with those little tasks when you don't have a proper dedicated tool. And honestly, they're cool and they're fun to collect and they're very, portable. They're great to have lying around. But if you're like me and you're in the UK, you're kind of limited because of our stupid knife laws, because the majority of multi-tools have knives which have locking blades. Now in the UK, it's illegal to carry a locking blade without a good reason. Good reason usually means something like work, but if you're just carrying it day to day, going about your business, then you're committing a crime. So you need to carry one as a non-locking blade, and that is the case for all these in front of you. So all these ones right here, right now, in front of you on the camera are legal to carry, but this is by no means a complete list. This is just some of the ones that I have. Now, before we get into that, some of the multi-tools that are illegal to carry without a good reason, because I'm going to say these because these are the most well known, but some of the ones that are illegal to carry, excuse me, includes the Leatherman Wave, which is by far, in my opinion, the most popular multi-tool probably on the planet. Single-handedly, the Leatherman Wave is probably the most popular, most well-known multi-tool, but also the Leatherman Rebar, Leatherman Signal, Leatherman Surge, most of the SOG multi-tools, so the SOG Power Lock, the Gerber MP600, these are unfortunately illegal to carry without a good reason, which is why I'm making this video to show you some of the multi-tools that you can legally carry. Again, these you can legally carry in your pocket in the UK, going about your daily business without a good reason. So let's get straight into it. So straight away, the Swiss Army knife. Everyone knows the Swiss Army knife. These are, pretty small. Well, I mean, this is probably one of the bigger ones, but as a whole, Swiss Army knives are fairly small, easily portable. They fit in your pocket. They're absolutely jam-packed with tools, especially, like the Swiss Champ here. They have all those useful tools. They've got your screwdrivers, openers. This is a can opener with a screwdriver, a bottle opener with a screwdriver, knife blade. It's got a wood saw. Now I'm not going to go through all the tools on all these multi-tools because I'll be here forever. We have pliers. We have all sorts on these, and these come in many different shapes, sizes and colours. In fact, here's another one. This is also a Swiss Army knife. These are both by Victorinox. Speaking of the Swiss Army knife, we have the second maker of the Swiss Army knife, which is Wenger. Now, unfortunately, Wenger is no longer in production. They have been acquired by Victorinox. So Wenger no longer makes knives, although Wenger is still a company. They don't make Swiss Army knives anymore. But these are very similar to the Victorinox models. They've got pretty much the same tools, except Wenger has their own style. For example, here's the Wenger can opener, which is honestly very different to the Victorinox can opener, but of course these are both very useful and very functional. Same with the knife blades. Just quickly do a side by side of the Victorinox and Wenger knife blades, if I can get them in the picture. So you can see they're, fairly different. The Wenger has more of a belly, where the Victorinox is more straight, and the Victorinox usually tends to be a bit thicker. Now, although these are longer made, you can still find them. You can get them on eBay, and you can get them in second-hand shops. All of my Wengers I bought second-hand this year, so they are available. I think I have about 7 in my collection so far, and you can get them for around the same price as Victorinox. Although if you cannot get this kind here, this is a Wenger Evo Grip. Victorinox still makes these, but with the Victorinox shield and the Victorinox tang stamp. Other than that, the only difference on the Victorinox version is it has the Victorinox can opener. So that's a few examples of the Swiss Army knife, very similarly but made in Taiwan by a German company called Boker. We have this is the Tech Tool. I don't remember which model, I think this is the Tech Tool 7, I may be mistaken, but there's a few different versions of this. I think it goes from Tech Tool 1 to, no, is this the 5th? Anyway, it goes from Tech Tool 1 to Tech Tool 7. And the thick, the higher the number, the thicker the tool is, meaning it's got more implements. So this is basically a very modern Swiss Army knife with much more modern materials. You can see here it's got a screwed construction opposed to the Swiss Army knife, which has hidden rivets underneath the handle scales. We have a much more modern looking blade, which is hollow ground. The Swiss Army knife is flat ground. We have a drop point blade. And again, similar tools, we have a wood saw, once again, a pair of scissors, which I can't get a hold of, and you have your openers. Now on this is a feature that all Victorinox models lack, and Wenger models actually, is a pocket clip. But if you have one of the thicker models, I think the Tech Tool 7, or the biggest Tech Tool, is about as thick as this. You really don't want this, clipped to your pocket like this, because that's going to be really uncomfortable. And these also have a glass breaker, which I think is a good thing, because that's potentially a life-saving device. So that's definitely a good thing. Now, let's move on to Leatherman, because Leatherman is probably the biggest when it comes to multi-tools. Arguably, for some people, the Swiss Army knife isn't a multi-tool, but it has multiple tools on it, so to me that's a multi-tool. Anyway, Leatherman. Like I said, most Leathermans are unfortunately illegal to carry, which is a real shame, but the Leatherman Juice, all of the Leatherman Juice models are legal to carry. They do not lock, and they are plier based, although they look more like a Swiss Army knife, so they look less threatening. So let's have a look at the blade on this model. Quite small. I think this is just under 2.5 inches, so it's legal to carry in most places. And it has the same tool set. It has a saw, has an awl, the openers. Here's your can opener / bottle opener. Corkscrew. And the pliers, and it has the screwdrivers on the inside of the tool, which right now is proven difficult to open. This tool needs cleaned, it's a little dusty. But anyway, all of the Leatherman Juice models would be an excellent option. This is the CS4, which is my favourite. This is the only Juice model I have so far. Unfortunately, these are going up in price. I think this right now will run you about £100, which is a real shame. I certainly didn't pay that much for it. That's just going to make it harder for people to access these, which is really unfortunate. Now, we have the Leatherman Kick. This one is one of the full-sized Leathermans. Unfortunately, these are no longer made, but you can still find them on eBay, on certain second-hand websites, and in some shops. I actually got this from a gun shop, I think not too long after it was discontinued. But if you can find the Kick, it is an excellent option for UK EDC. It is very basic and very minimalist, but it does not lock, and the blade is under 3 inches. So we have the pliers, which once again this Leatherman is built around. We have a dedicated 3D Phillips screwdriver, which of course is a good thing. Can opener and a bottle opener. I have a few, flathead screwdrivers and a knife blade. Very simple, yet it's a good option if you're able to find them. Now this is the Leatherman Tread. This is actually a wearable multi-tool. This is a bracelet. You can see here we have all the drivers and spanners, Allen keys, etc. With a hook, cutting hook, a pick. This pick is used for getting the SIM card out of your phone, and once again we have a glass breaker. And when you open up the bracelet to put it on, we have a bottle opener. Now this is also legal to wear on planes, which is one of the things Leatherman has designed this for. While we're on Leatherman, let's look at some key options. This is the Squirt PS4. Now sadly these have gone up in price as well. When I bought this, I think I paid about 30 quid for it. Some places charge 50 for this, which to me is just a bit much, but it is a fantastic little tool. It has your basic tools on it, your knife blade, non-locking, it's about 1 inch long. Has a little file, a bottle opener with a screwdriver, scissors, and of course we have the pliers, which these are actually spring loaded. With the Leatherman Micro. Similar to the Squirt, except this is based around scissors. We have a set of tweezers, Phillips driver, there's a bottle opener with another with a flathead, small blade, and some more drivers. We have a nail cleaner, nail file. And a small ruler. I forgot to mention, but the Leatherman kit also has a small ruler, as does the Victorinox Swiss Champ here on the fish scaler. Now, lastly, we've got Gerber. This is actually my newest multi-tool. I just got this today. This is the Smith & Wesson M&P. Now, I think I said earlier on in the video that these are illegal to carry because they have locking blades, but this actually doesn't have any knives on it. This is a bladeless model, it has no knives, although it does have a saw, which apparently can cut almost anything. This is good for, from what I heard, cutting really hard materials, but it will cut wood as well. This is actually just a jigsaw blade. See if I can get it out. This might be difficult on camera. There we go. It's just a U-shank jigsaw blade. But this is a really good option because you won't have to worry about getting this confiscated because it has no blades on it at all, other than the saw, which as you can see is removable. The only other bladed item is a small pair of scissors, which are actually very functional. I've used them several times today. But as I say, all the tools on this lock up. Now, this is one of the only ones here that doesn't have a knife. If a knife is important to you, then pair up, because this is an excellent option for a UK legal carry, because it has your drivers, has your openers, has a file. Of course, it's full-sized pliers. This is just your regular your regular Gerber MP600, just without a knife and with an added saw. it would be worth pairing it up with a small Swiss Army knife or a non-locking Opinel. Now I do have another Gerber here, small Gerber vise with 2 blades on it, plain edge blade and a serrated on the other side, with a small file, screwdriver and a bottle opener. And spring-loaded pliers. Now this is the exact same thing here, the Gerber Gerber splice, except instead of pliers, we have scissors. Now the last two we have here are kind of multi-tools, but they're more of a pry bar. Here we have a Gerber shard. This has a few tools on it. First there's a pry bar, a bottle opener and a Phillips driver. These are pretty inexpensive and they're good for key carry. These only cost about £7. These are their own type of multi-tool on their own. Here we have a Kershaw. I forgot what the actual name of this thing is. But again, pry bars, screwdrivers on this, bottle opener, can opener, and again only about £7. A really good UK legal EDC option. Now, aside from all of these multi-tools that are legal to carry straight out of the box, you do still have some other options. I mentioned another company called SOG. Well, obviously all the SOG multi-tools have knives on it. This is a power lock. And it does have a locking knife. That doesn't mean you can't carry this, however. The good thing about all of the SOG models is SOG has actually designed these for customization. You could buy other tools that you want, so you could take the tool apart. As you can see, it's just a nut. You just unscrew it and you can take the knife off, and then it's legal to carry. Pretty handy, and that applies to pretty much all the SOG models. So these do lock, but if you take the knife blade off, you can legally carry it, but you want to replace it with either a washer or something, or get another tool for it. Now unfortunately, to buy the other tools is expensive, but it might be worth it if this is a suitable tool. Now your last option is to modify a multi-tool, which is something I've done a lot of. I've done a video on making the Leatherman Wave legal to carry. If you're interested in seeing how to make the Leatherman Wave legal to carry, please check out that video. And similarly, I've made a video on making the Leatherman Wingman legal to carry. So if you're interested in seeing those, please check those out. I'll leave it at that, so thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and hope you found it useful. See you later.